So, this is another application of Bernoulli's theorem, and it is very important in the sense that one can find the velocity of water coming out from the hole in a large container. Suppose the container is of height y1 maintained constant by the flow of water, and this amount of liquid flowing out is with a velocity v2. Then question is, what is the velocity of v1 here? So, P0 is the atmospheric pressure. So, V1 A1 V1 is your A2 V2. This is your equation of continuity, and from this we see that V1 will be A2 by A1 into V2. You see from the diagram that this area of cross section A2 is quite small compared to the area of cross section at position 1. So, therefore, this tends to 0. That means, the velocity at the top of the container is at 0 velocity, and now we can apply Bernoulli's theorem, second form of Bernoulli's theorem. So, what is second form of Bernoulli's theorem? So, second form of Bernoulli's theorem is P1 plus mgh1 plus half m v1 square is equal to P2. Then this is m by v is rho, you can write directly mgh2 plus half rho v2 square. So, from this diagram we see that P1 is P0, then this is rho gh1, then half rho, what is V1? V1 is 0 square, then it is P2, P2 the pressure at this second, this small hole, near this small hole, it is rho g. For H1 we can write Y1. You see, for H1 from the diagram we see that it is Y1 and it is Y2, then half rho V2 square. Then the pressure of the atmosphere is P0 here, and here it is we write P2, but within this distance, that is your Y1 minus Y2, the variation of pressure is not very much different. So, that we can write half rho V2 square is equal to P2 a P0 minus P2, then rho g Y1 minus Y2. So, if you neglect it, the difference is very small and it is neglected. So, that you can write V2 square is equal to 2 rho g, this is Y1 minus Y2 divided by rho. This rho cancels, and if you denote this as h, that is y1 minus y2 is equal to h. So, it is 2g h. So, V2 is now 2g h root over. This is just the formula for the velocity with which a body dropped from a height h reaches the bottom. So, same thing as 2gh, and it is called Torricelli's law. It is called Torricelli's law. It is a very old thing, nearly about 1700 it was invented by the scientist Torricelli of Italy. And let us find what is the pressure of a liquid column, because it is also applicable to gases. So, it is also sometimes called for fluids, same thing as fluid, because fluid is nothing but liquid or gas. They have many similar properties. They can flow, they can be compressed. Of course, gas is compressed, but liquid is not easy to compress. So, fluids are of two types. One is liquid, another is gas. We mainly deal with liquids in this chapter, which is also applicable for gases. So, to find the pressure exerted by a liquid column, pressure exerted by a liquid column. Pressure exerted by a liquid column. So, to find an expression for this, let us think of a wide cylinder having some liquid, maybe water, maybe any other liquid also, and on the surface of the liquid, that is here, the pressure is the atmospheric pressure P0. Our intention is to find pressure at some point, say Q. Q is a point inside the container. So, to find that, let us think of a liquid column. Say the pressure is P1 here, and this pressure is P2. We pretend that we do not know which one is greater, P1 is greater or P2 is greater, we do not know. And this height is your h. So, if density of the liquid be rho. Area of cross section of the imaginary dotted cylinder, imaginary dotted cylinder be A square units, comma, then volume of liquid in this cylinder is equal to V, say capital V, and that will be A into H, area of cross section into height. So, that is your volume. Then mass of the liquid, will be volume into density. So, it is A H rho. Then weight of the liquid is equal to A H rho g, and you know that weight is a force, so acting downwards. So, therefore, this much of liquid will press downwards. So, pressure at Q due to the liquid column is equal to force by area. Force by area. So, force is weight. So, it is H rho g, and that is the pressure at Q, point Q. So, at Q the pressure is P2, that is actually upward pressure is P2, because downward pressure that for equilibrium the downward pressure will be also P2. But what is that? How much is that? So, pressure at Q due to the liquid column is H rho g, and in addition to that there is also another liquid column here. So, that will also exert pressure, and there is atmospheric pressure. So, actual pressure at Q acting downwards is equal to P0 plus, if you take this height as say x, this will exert another pressure, another cylinder can be imagined. So, it will be x rho g, then H rho g. That means it is equal to, this quantity is your P1 plus H rho g, and that is also equal to P2 for equilibrium, because there is a proof that pressure at any point inside the liquid is same in all directions. That means At Q, upward pressure is P2, downward pressure is also P2, this side pressure is P2, this side pressure is P2. So, pressure exerted on all sides are the same. So, that is the idea of pressure P2, which is equal to P1 pressure H rho g, and P1 is again equal to P0 plus X rho g. Then this idea was immediately applied by Torricelli in very early time, 1700, near about 1700. So, he could make a device called barometer to measure pressure, and that was very useful. Till now, from the study of barometer pressure, one can predict whether there is going to be storm or cyclone, like that. So, atmospheric pressure P0, barometer. Barometer is the device to measure pressure. So, what he did is, he took a narrow tube. He took a narrow tube like test tube, whose one end is closed and the other end is open. Then what he did, he poured mercury, mercury. He poured mercury into the tube and made it completely full. So, the and there is a container where mercury is present, and then he inverted the tube on this container. Like this, and what he observed is, mercury level decreased, and this is a great discovery. And at sea level, during normal times, this height became 76 centimeter, and this part is called Torricellian vacuum, because it was completely full. So, when it inverted it, that level decreases, but this is left free, nothing is there. So, it is vacuum, and the height is 76 centimeter. Then the question is, how this long column of mercury can stand like this, because mercury should go out and fill the beaker, but that does not happen. You can make a stand arrangement to keep it like that. Then he said that there is atmospheric pressure P0 here, and everywhere it is atmospheric pressure P0. So, this P0 is responsible for maintaining the height P0. That means, atmospheric pressure can be measured with the help of 76 centimeter of mercury column. So, P0 is now equal to pressure exerted by 76 centimeter of mercury column. And how much it is? It is H rho g. Lastly, we saw that the pressure is atmospheric pressure plus height. So, here it is, it will be H then rho of air H rho g. So, height into density, sorry, it is not air, it is mercury now, H g. So, height into density of mercury times gravity. So, it is 76 into 13.6, then 980, it is dyne per centimeter square. And if you calculate it, it is 1.013 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square, or it is called Pascal, PA. PA stands for Pascal. So, this is the atmospheric pressure at the sea level, and if there is a cyclone starting, then the pressure becomes low, pressure decreases. Due to Bernoulli's theorem, we know that when velocity increases, pressure decreases. So, pressure decreases means this height decreases, 76 decreases. So, from the observation of height, one can think of the coming of cyclone or storm. Then we come to Pascal's law. So, Pascal's law, the statement is quite important, that is pressure exerted at any portion of a confined incompressible liquid is transmitted equally to all parts of the liquid. So, this is the law, but to understand the law, in the NCERT book they have given a triangular body on which there is pressure, and they explain the law, but it is a very clumsy one. So, therefore, I will give a simpler example. Simpler example is, suppose a rubber ball is taken rubber ball is taken, then the upper part of the ball be detached. That means the rubber ball is having rubber on all sides except at the top, and several pinholes be made into the rubber ball. So, why I choose rubber? Because when you make a hole into it, then it easily closes. That means at some instant, if you see, then suppose the upper side is open, then you pour water into it till it is completely full. Then by a Fevicol type of gum, you close the upper part, so that the ball is having the original shape and size. Then what you do? You have made very small holes that are not effective unless some pressure is given. Suppose you apply compression by your hand. You apply compression this side. So, this liquid present here will be experiencing some force. So, that force and this divided by the area gives the pressure. So, this pressure is felt here. This pressure is felt here equally. Equally means they will come out, liquid will come out, water will come out with equal speed. Clear? That means here is water. So, rubber ball is filled with water and the upper part is closed, then compression is applied here. So, one common sense is the pressure at that part will be felt there, but the pressure is communicated to all parts of the liquid, and since there are very small holes, due to the pressure they open up and the liquid comes out. So, that is one explanation. Another explanation is also in some books, there is a piston type of arrangement. So, by means of piston, if you apply pressure, again this type of thing happens. So, this is a crude way of explaining how the pressure is transmitted equally to all parts of the liquid, and as such one may think that it is just a law like any other law, but it has great applications, many applications. So, we will explain one or two applications of this Pascal's law. You see in some the washing of vehicles like car, jeep, even bigger vehicles also at places. Suppose you the person who is the there washerman, or you can say mechanic. So, he applies a pressure by his leg. So, he applies the pressure and that pressure lifts the car. Once the car is lifted, it is easier to wash and to have repair work. So, how that is possible? So, this is the meaning of principle of multiplication of forces. It is called principle of multiplication multiplication of force. At times it is called Brahma's press. Brahma's press. You see, there is a narrow tube connected with a wider tube by a side tube. Suppose liquid like water be given, naturally the levels will be same. Because of atmospheric pressure, the level of liquid will be same. Then what to do? By means of, you can apply piston, or say by means of leg also, that is you can apply some pressure. So, P is applied, and suppose this area of cross section is A1. So, here area of cross section is A2. This area of cross section is A2. At the narrow end, you apply force applied. Force applied at the narrow tube is equal to F1, and this F1 will be equal to P times A1, because force by area is pressure and the pressure is the P. It is not atmospheric pressure, it is some extra pressure applied by a person. Then this pressure, according to Pascal's law, it will be communicated to this point. So, here there will be again pressure P. So, force at the wider tube is equal to F2, that is P times A2. So, naturally F2 by F1 is equal to A2 by A1. So, implies F2 is equal to A2 by A1 times F1. So, depending on the area A2 and A1 ratio, this force at the wider end can be much more than that of F1. So, if there is a frame here and a car is placed here, even by a mechanic with his legs, they can press and the car can be raised. It is a great say discovery and application of the Pascal's law. So, F2 is greater than F1. So, a car placed on a platform placed above the wider tube can be raised by a single mechanic. Normally, say at least 10 people are required to raise the car, but here only one mechanic with his legs is capable of raising the car. So, this is one application. Then second application is chairs for patients used by dentists. You see, dentists normally do the work by standing, and they have to treat patients of different heights. One may be of little height, another may be greater height, like that. So, what they do is they ask the patient to sit on a chair, and by his leg he presses the lower side, and that is also raised. For a, suppose there is a child, then the chair has to be raised. So, they can be raised by that. Then also another application is your hydrostatic brakes. They are used by the drivers in cars, and there they apply the brakes by their legs, but the pressure, there is connection inside. The liquid pressure is communicated to all the four wheels where brakes are present, and they are effective. So, these are the few applications of Pascal's law. And now we come to say a few definitions, after which we can apply the theories for liquids at rest. So, one is cohesion and adhesion. So, what is meaning of cohesion and adhesion? Cohesion means attraction between similar molecules. of a liquid. And adhesion means attraction between a liquid molecule and a solid molecule with which it is in contact. This we have explained at the time of viscosity. For the meaning of viscosity, the liquid molecules at the edges of the tubes, they have zero velocity. That is because they are at rest because of the attraction adhesive force, and we can give examples. Example is for cohesive force. The example is mercury atoms. Mercury is a liquid, so mercury atoms have greater cohesive force than their adhesive force, with glass. Then the result is mercury does not stick to glass. That means in a beaker, suppose mercury is taken and then again poured, poured into the bottle, then there is no trace of mercury found on the glass. Similarly, in say winter, if you want to take bath with cold water, you place oil on your body and then get a bath. There also the water does not stick to that. So, you get you are not affected by the cold water. So, and this another interesting aspect of this mercury atoms is that in thermometers and barometers, mercury is always used because they do not adhere or they do not have adhesive force with glass, and that makes the best choice of this liquid for thermometers and barometers. And what is the example of adhesive force? Say this example is water. Water molecules have greater adhesive force for glass than their cohesive force. So, as a result, what happens? In a glass of water, when you drink it and keep it on the table, then after a little while, if you again see the glass, you find some water. Unlike mercury, mercury does not stick. So, mercury does not find a place inside the glass. but the water in a glass is present even after you drink all the water. You think that you have used all the water, but a little bit of water is left. So, that is due to the adhesion. Then we come to another property of liquids called capillarity. So, capillarity is a property of liquids by virtue of which it can rise inside narrow tubes. So, suppose there is a tube placed in a beaker containing water, then you find if there is a narrow tube, then the water is found to rise and the shape of the upper part of the water is concave. This concave shape is due to adhesive force. You see, water will find an attraction by glass and it will rise to a little extent on the sides. So, this is the situation for water. And for mercury, just the reverse thing happens. In mercury, the level decreases. This is a H. So, this explanation why it goes down inside the narrow tube can be explained with the help of surface tension, which is another property of liquids. So, capillarity means either rise or going down depending on the nature of the liquid. So, that is about the capillarity. Then we come to another thing that is called angle of contact. Angle of contact. You see, let me draw the figure and from that we can easily explain. There is no need of tube. It is like a bar, long bar immersed in water, say water type of liquid. Then the shape of water will be like this, and another bar, suppose it is placed in mercury, then the shape is like this due to adhesion. That is due to adhesion, and it is due to cohesion. Cohesion property is stronger, so adhesion is less. Then if you draw a tangent T, say, then all are glass, say this is glass, this is glass beaker, this is theta, this is theta. Then how to define this angle theta. Here you find this angle is obtuse. So, angle of contact can be defined as the angle made by the tangent at the point of contact made with the portion of the solid that lies inside the liquid. That is the important point, because particularly for mercury, if you see, it is the tangent making an angle obtuse angle, sthula kona jota, obtuse angle with the portion of matter inside the solid. If you take the upper side of the glass, then it will be acute angle. So, angle of contact definition is, it is the angle, made by the tangent to the liquid at the point of contact, with the solid immersed in it, बुड़े के रखा है, immersed in it with the portion of the solid that lies inside the liquid. So, you have to think of the portion inside the liquid and draw the tangent at the point of contact. And for water like liquids, so for water and glass, theta is acute. Acute means less than 90 degrees, sukmo kono. Then for mercury and glass, theta is obtuse. So, this is about the angle of contact. এটা কাট দিও।